Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of Super Rugby Pacific, and this one, it's a little bit confusing because it is currently half-time. 12 points to 6 in favour of the Chiefs. I got home from cricket a little bit earlier than we were anticipating, which does mean we're able to cover the second half of this contest. But in terms of the stats for the first half, the Chiefs have the territory and possession just slightly in their favour, although they have conceded a lot more penalties, 8 in total compared to the Fijian Drua. 560 metres made with 11 defenders beaten for the Chiefs, 113 metres and 6 for the Drua. But the big talking point at the moment, of course, is the amount of rain that has been falling. It's going to make it extremely challenging for either of these sides to get that running rugby going. But we have seen 2 tries from the Chiefs, Simasoni Taukei'aho and Jimmy Tupou, the 2 men who have crossed the try line. We have got the Kiwi Lads. It's raining. It certainly is very wet at the moment for this game. They're talking about the humidity, making it hard to handle the ball as well. Was waiting for you, says Max. So yeah, we were hoping to be home. Well, to be honest, I thought I'd be home closer to the next game starting between Moana Pacifica and the Hurricanes. But we got home a bit earlier than anticipated. I was hoping to be here before the start of the match, but there was a detour on the way home due to a severe crash. So that's probably a fair enough reason to be a little bit later. And Gutted says Matthew about Damien McKenzie. And also halftime says Ruslan Lee. It certainly is. So rather than starting with a little bit of the first half to go, I thought it might be better off just waiting for the second half to get underway. Yeah, do let me know what you guys have thought of the match. Is it raining where you are right now? Not a huge amount. It was trying to just as we were finishing up. So we finished the game quite early. We ended up going with a shortened format type of thing just because of the weather, plus the game in terms of the overall table didn't mean a huge amount. So yeah, it meant that we were going to be finished quite early. But yeah, it's still 30-minute drive where we were playing. At least you made it in for the second half. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope that it is a little bit more free-flowing than that first half sounds like it was. I was listening a little bit in terms of what was happening throughout that first 40. The general gist of it seems to be the Chiefs, they've done well with ball in hand. They've made some good meters, but they have also conceded more penalties. It's pissing down here in Danny Verk. Says Max. McKenzie playing, he is not no for this match. Did you hear about the 700 for 6 game? I did not. Which game we talking? I assume cricket, somewhere around the world. But these are the benches for this match, ladies and gentlemen. The Fijian Drua still have Tavere Ikanaveri as a very strong option that they can use. Taknieri is also there. Pini Revai, Elia Thanakai Vata, Matakai Murray, Sivu Kuravuli, or Simeone Kuravuli, I should say, Rabitu and Rakuro, the last 2 options for them here. For the Chiefs, Slater, Prophet, and Ruben O'Neill, Natoa Akoi and Simon Parker. Then Rattling Alec, Xavier Rowe, and Sean Stevenson. They're at number 23. But the second half, I would say, is not too far away at all. So that is exciting. This is the way that the table sat yesterday before the match that took place between the Brumbies and the Blues. Of course, we did see the Brumbies get themselves the victory there, so they moved right up into, I believe it was 4th place. In fact, maybe even 5th. I don't think they would have gone above the Force. So, still 5th place. But Fijian Drua, if they were somehow able to cause an upset here up against the undefeated Chiefs, would certainly help their season in the right direction. But they need a win and they need it soon. Whether it's at home, whether it is away. And stuck in the cyclone in Queensland, nothing seems to be working but YouTube. Says Caleb, well, I am glad that you are here. And of course, hopefully you are staying safe too. Yes, no one of our local games. Central District, 700 for 5 declared. Auckland, 8 overs for 421. And then 13, follow-on, sorry. Right. So, it's a very high-scoring one by the looks of that. Will Simus only be an All Black, you reckon? He's got a decent chance. It just really depends on what they're looking for in that hooker jersey. Like, I feel like Amor, maybe. Cody Taylor, of course, will be somewhere in that equation, but it just depends on what the other option is in terms of what fits Razor's mould. Because he also had George Bell in there, we've got to remember. So, you know, another dark horse could be on the cards. It was 30 degrees Celsius when the women were playing. What is happening to the heat, says Fiji Islander? Yeah, extremely hot, which of course is going to be very fatiguing for the players. And Chiefs all the way, let's go, says Romano. And let's go the Chiefs. Even though I'm a Fijian, let's lose this Drua. I know you're great at disappointing us, says Optimus. And it was your All Blacks midfield. Honestly, I haven't completely decided on it yet. There are a lot of great options. Like, Leonard Brown's been consistent throughout this season, just like he was last year. Quinta Pye started extremely well. Got a couple of those other guys like a Timothy Tavatavanawai who could be in the runnings. Like, Geordie Barrett's hard to judge what he's doing unless you're watching Leinster, which of course he's going pretty well for them throughout the URC. Chiefs need to bring on Stevenson, says Romano. I don't think he'll be a mile away. Definitely if this game is being played in extreme heat. So they'll chuck him out relatively soon. Dark Room, says Kiwi Rob. Dark Room. As in like where I am, maybe? Possibly. Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit darker than normal, I guess, but not by a massive amount. It's me, Hamish, says Bands of Blaze. Welcome in, mate. If you are doing well, up the Chiefs, says Dawn of the Dead. This clown talking about losing the draw, says Fiji Islander. And no, the interview. Yeah, that is true. It is a little bit overcast and a little bit dark where they're doing the interview with David Hill. Well, that doesn't sound too good at the moment. Looks like a good day behind you, says Patsy. Yeah, it certainly does not look like this at the moment for the actual match. It is pouring with rain. And we have their Fiji Islander draw or lose mark, my words. And I'm a realist, says Optimus. And also, if you think Fiji would be able to compete in the international level and up the Black Cap, says Dawn of the Dead. Of course, they are going to be playing a little bit later on. Not today, but tomorrow. We will still be giving you slight updates about that. Brumbies are 5th, says Max. They certainly are. Just behind the Western Force. They are just chatting to Greg Fleming for the Fijian Drua, the second half. Very close to starting. And hopefully it's going to be an entertaining one. Anyone who is new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are normally here for the first half of matches as well. We did start this one a little bit late, but I still felt like rather than just watching it for the second half, I thought I might as well come and have a bit of a casual chat with you guys before we jump into Moana Pacifica versus the Hurricanes. You're always taking the piss out of Fiji. It's irritating. It's very repetitive, isn't it? And we can't compete at international level, losing to Ireland 50-0 plus isn't commenting with the best. Well, unlike Ireland though, no, we can't be that harsh, can we? But like the Fijians, they've had some great international games recently, and I feel like it only if you really want to be negative, you'll find a way of doing it, no matter how well a team's gone. Like people still find a way of complaining about how the Springboks play. Yet they're double world champions the last 2 times in a row. They've had the best winning percentage that they've ever had, or at least it seems that way in the recent times, yet people still find a way of saying that they don't like watching them play. So it's like, there will be people who find something sad no matter what. Tars or the Force. It's going to be a tricky one to predict because the Force have started this season a lot better than some anticipated, but the Tars, I feel like they'll find their rhythm as this season wears on, and they're already doing pretty well. And Draw will play their best in the worst minutes in the last 5 minutes of the game. Hopefully it's on the upside. This one says Caleb. That's going to be knocked on at the back from Josh Jacob. France versus Ireland. We are going to be covering that one on the channel too. And that's going to be a knock on by the Chiefs. So the Fijian Draw with the early chance here. You know what I do with negative people, says Bands of Blaze. And okay, Hamish, looking at from my perspective, all my fellow Fijians claim we are Tier 1 nation. Then we lose to Portugal. How's stating facts being negative? I mean, which team made it to the quarterfinals of the last Rugby World Cup, though, out of Portugal or Fiji? No sleeping coming for Hamish, says Bill. I might sneak like a couple hours if I'm extremely lucky, but more than likely I will be straight back into streaming. Hopefully my landers best the Canes next week, says Max Cottle. Oh, Lamani going to be feeding this ball in. Anton Leonard-Brown situated in that number 13 jersey. It looks like Lamani is going to be bumping away to the short side. Tries to get through Cortez Aratama. Dragged down nicely. Armstrong, Ravula. Italy or England or Italy. Are you doing it? We are doing that game as well. I do think that England should be able to get the win there. But Italy, who knows? Maybe they cause an upset right near the end. That's a beautiful wide cutout pass by the Fijian Drua. Got some great attacking options in their back line. Now, Vothe. Moving forward just that little bit further. There are puddles on the field. Zaya Armstrong, Ravula. On across now, driving the legs. Or Joe Tamani, Frank Lamani goes round the short side, 5 metres out from the line. Cortez Ratama wanted the turnover but lost his footing. A little bit of competitiveness in that breakdown from Jimmy Tupou, I believe it was. Fiji have never been labelled a tier 1 team. We don't make enough money. Says Fiji Islander. And tell you what, they're trying to cash in here early on. That is only about a metre from the line. Lamani goes across and it's the try between the sticks for the Fijian Drua. They will take the lead here. But Meli Dedialangi, Fijian Drua lucky charm, anyone? They didn't score in the full first half. We start commentating, they score within 2 minutes or 2.5. Until Fiji beat All Blacks or South Africa, we are tier 3, tier 2 or 3. But they are actually classed as tier 2, I believe. So, like, they are in that category. Fijian Drua will win this match, says Osefo. It's fully possible. That's the thing. Scoring first in the second half. They've caught the Chiefs off guard. At the start of the second 40 minutes, Saki Donge almost went over for a try of his own. Now the kick has gone over, so that is going to make the score 12 points to 11, now 13. What was the game you went to live? I played in a game of cricket. Like, we didn't go watch a game. I played in it. I worked 13 hours on Wednesday from 1 p.m. till 2 a.m. on Thursday. Says Max Goddle. Being busy by the sounds of it. So Scotland aren't tier 1 in your eyes. They've never been in New Zealand, says Dawn of the Dead. Ooh. Good point. See there, watching on, McBurn, the former Fijian Drua head coach. They are now leading in this game, though, 13 points to 12. How did cricket go? It went all right for me, just not really that well for the team. Oh, that's going to be a big shot, beautifully kept alive by Leroy Carter, Amoni Narua. He is playing at number 15 for this game. And the penalty goes the way of the Chiefs. Come on, the draw, need more trays, boys. Says Matthew. Or more tries, I think that is. I was thinking, what do they need the trays for? But I've worked it out. Celestino Ravatomanda, it is great to see him back in this game for the Fijian Drua. Score 100, take 5 wickets. Neither of those two. The game wasn't long enough to do almost either of those. But I got 2 wickets and scored 20-something not out, so decent day. Took a catch as well. Didn't do a huge amount wrong, but we still lost. Now, Samasoni Tolkiaho throwing this ball in, challenged by the Fijian Drua, but it bounces back to Caleb Boshia. It's tackled low by Lamani. Now Ratama. And across again to Tolkiaho. Nicely done. Says Beds Blaze still early, but a good start to the second half. Says Fiji Islander. And Chiefs should win. Says John MC. Well, they should. But whether they do or not is a different story, because we've seen upsets already. I mean, we saw the Brumbies break a 12-year drought at Eden Park. Now, ball popped out the back again for Boshi out to 6 phases in a row for the Chiefs. Ratama goes across to Leroy Carter, wrestled towards the touchline, pops the ball back in, and that's a penalty for playing the ball on the ground from Amoni Narua. Thanks for sharing the game. Awesome Kiwi lads. Enjoy the weekend. Says Alocina, and it is great to see you once again. Hi all, says Judah. And hey, you did good. As you can use that to boost the team next week. Well, we've finished the season, unfortunately. We don't have a game next week. So that's quite sad, really. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a good finish. Like, it's probably the best. Well, I wouldn't say it's the best that I've played, but I didn't do too much badly, which is a good way to end the season. Yeah, just push towards the touchline there, and then, of course, Amoni Narua, due to him being down on the ground, he's not allowed to play at that ball. And hey, Amish again, says Brandon Game, welcome in. I will laugh if India lose with all the advantages I've had, says Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, New Zealand certainly coming in as the big underdog, but that is something that they are used to. They'll be trying their best to beat India in that final. Nice pass out wide. Here comes Leroy Carter again. Goes for the little chip and behind Anton Leonard Brown chasing after it. He's got the ball and scores it too. A little bit of a lack of ball security there from Ravo Tamanda. Just couldn't quite get his hands on it. Leonard Brown slides through though and gets another try. We've already had in the first 7 minutes of the second half the same amount of tries as we saw in the first. Leroy could be an All Black. He certainly could be. And my rugby season just starting. Says pads ablaze. And High All says Judah a little bit earlier on. And hey, Hamish again says, Brandon, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. It's a big shot coming in from Kitioni Salawa on Anton Leonard Brown afterwards, but still scored the try. And just keeps on sliding. It was going to be very hard to slow him down. He was big time celebrating for the Chiefs. Rugby season just starting, and tit for tat this game says Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, second half seems like it's certainly going to be the more eventful of the two. Josh Jacob near the sideline. Just misses away to the side. So we'll keep the score at 17 points to 13 between these two teams. We have it. If Ravinja and Williamson can't be stopped, we have it. But the thing is, like, the good news for New Zealand is they've still got a couple other guys in there that could actually do well runs-wise. Like Latham, yes, he went out playing a dumb shot in the last innings, but, you know, he's found some good form throughout this competition. Will Young's due to fire, I would think. Conway, maybe. It's hard to say, isn't it? Keep the awesome commentary up. About to take my son to play under 10 cricket. We'll be listening, says Super Dad Chris. Well, hopefully it does go well for him. And hopefully the weather is a bit better than it was here today. I can't watch your live streams on Friday night. Sorry, that is completely acceptable, Max. We won't hold it against you. Leroy Carter going across now to Jimmy Tupou. But there's Ratama. Rolls it back to Anton Leonard Brown, or passes it back, I should say. Davida Ikanaveri, he is now on to the field. Glenn Phillips is the magic man. Yeah, he can score a lot of runs in a hurry. Glenn Phillips. Same with Daryl Mitchell when he fully commits to striking it. And Panther, for some reason, I'm feeling quietly confident. Says Dawn of the Dead. But yeah, throughout that England versus Italy live stream, we'll be able to give little updates because it will be happening at the same time. Oh, that's not Glenn Jackson. He was holding his walkie-talkie and only one finger was extended. And it's the one that made it look like he was gesturing something to the camera. Now, 40 metres out, the FIJIAN Drua getting the rolling ball going. Tupavahi looking to steal it through the middle, drag down. And it's going to be play on. Frank Lamani now. Ilya Thanakaivata knocks the ball backwards. Now it's really loose and scrappy, but it's going to bounce back on the side of the Chiefs. Kick forward by Stevenson. Diving onto it was Loganamasi. Now it becomes a maul the Chiefs. This will be a massive territory gain. If this ball doesn't come out, I'm very confident if we play like we did against South Africa, then we should be good. Says Bads Ablaze. The big thing will be whether or not they bowl well. Because, you know, you've got O'Rourke, who looked like he couldn't find his length. Jameson was a bit the same when he started going up against a couple more aggressive batsmen. So, yeah, like as much as the batting's going to be key, I think that bowling-wise, we've seen them limit them before in terms of India, but, you know, it's going to be a good one either way. We have got there, Phillips has been poor for a while, only one decent innings, says Dawn of the Dead. I mean, for me though, the runs that he saves in the field, like those diving catches that he's taken, I'd still have him in the side every day of the week. Bowling-wise, he's been a little bit 50-50, but yeah, like in terms of what he does in the field, the amount of runs and a diving catch that might win them the game could be on the cards for him. But overall, New Zealand's fielding's been very solid. Come on, the FIJIAN Drua, says Osefo. Now 30 minutes remaining. 10 metres out from the line here. The Chiefs will have themselves the scrum. We have Henry and Bracewell and Satner. We should be good. Says Pads Ablaze. Now, it'll be Jimmy Tupou bumping off the back of the scrum. Looking for the turnover was Ilya Thanakaivata. This is going to be a big telling point in this match. If Fiji and Drua concede now, it might be too much of a mountain to climb. Of course, we are very early, but then from there, the game management side of things from the Chiefs will really kick in. There's another penalty advantage here. New Zealand, India tomorrow, go New Zealand. I think it's going to be a great match. India is certainly the favourites, but New Zealand have got the team and at least the form heading into this comp to actually do quite well. But yeah, we'll be commentating the England versus Italy game around the same time as that match is ending. So, be a very interesting one. Looks like there's an injury here for the Chiefs. I'm not too sure who it is that stayed down. Currently does not look too good. Cortez Ratama pops the ball up to Bradley Slater. Was accompanied by Ruben O'Neill into contact. Even Ravindra, who bowled nicely last game, says Bads ablaze. And now they're going a lot closer to the injured player. I believe it is Jimmy Tupou, who is going to be down currently. Two Fijian Drua players get in the breakdown and they will win the penalty. I mentioned how important this little set piece and this little phase of play could be, and they've survived. That's a big one for the Fijian Drua. And then, Kiwi lads, boy, what a day. Just got home from work, but tired. I go Drua Hammy, says Spider Mick, and Glenn says Judah, and the Drua says Ronnie. And then Blues are average this year. They've struggled to find their rhythm, unfortunately. Like, they are a side that can certainly be at the top, but they just haven't found consistency. Their penalty count was a lot lower in the game up against the Brumbies, though, so that's a massive step in the right direction. But the other side of things, of course, was those handling errors. Dropping the ball far too often for a professional side. Definitely when the conditions, yes, there was a bit of wetness, but not anything like even this game. And I believe we've had less scrums and whatnot than that one. Now passing it back across. Big shot coming in on Ilya Thanakaivata. 40 metres out from their own line here. Kuravuli back into the pocket to Isaiah Armstrong Ravula. Now once again, chance here for the Chiefs. Sean Stevenson kicking it downfield, looking for a 50-22. Going to be relatively tricky to get one of those in the wet conditions. The ball pretty much pulls up completely. O'Neill, good Irish name, says John MC. And we have I have a dream, New Zealand to win by 5 wicket, Hammy, says Spider Mick. Win by 5 wickets. That would be a pretty impressive win. But is it a possibility? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe we see India struggle. Currently 54 minutes in now. Line out for Bradley Slater. And nicely claimed by Naitoa Akoi. And go the Chiefs watching from Auckland. Says Alosina. Nice rolling maul starting to open up for the Chiefs. 30 metres out. Ratama. Oh, Quintupai had a little bit of a juggle with the ball, but has managed to hang on in the end. Been a bit of a tendency of both sides throughout this match. Who do you think is the best team, and who is your view the worst in Super Rugby Pacific, says Judah. Are we basing it off just currently now or in general? I assume just currently. And the best team would have to go, it seems like it's just a bit of bias, but the team that's playing at the moment, the Chiefs, they've had 3 wins from 3. So it's very hard to argue with that side of things. And they've beaten some very top sides, though. Oh, nice steal from the draw, but there was a knock on. So they will go back for another scrum. A little bit of push and shove there between Leroy Carter and Simeone Kuravuli. Those two are still having a little bit of a push and a shove. And yes, now says Judah. But yeah, like, honestly, the table's probably not a mile off based off current form. But the beauty is we're so early on in the competition that it can all change. And that sides that are sitting close to the bottom can then be moving their way up. For instance, like the Blues, they're sitting in about 7th or so at the moment, but by the end of the season, I would expect to see them top 4. Of course, we've seen quite a few Australian wins, but a lot of those wins, with the exception of that game, Brumbies, Blues, and Waratahs, Highlanders, a lot of those other ones have been up against Australian sides too, so eventually they will have to start playing the Kiwis, and that's when normally we see the Aussies drop a little bit more. So there's still a lot that can happen for the overall table. And that's part of the fun. Cortez Ratama, once again, we're going to have another scrum. Ever since I said there weren't too many handling errors in this game, we've had about 3 or 4. Ratama puts it in. Looking for this ball. Who do you think will be last in the table coming into the season? I honestly do think, unfortunately, for Moana Pacifica, they will probably be at the bottom of the bunch. That one's going to be pushing a touch. Leroy Carter takes it quickly. Why aren't they allowed to do that? Oh, it's not their throw-in. It's actually going to be the Fijian Drua's ball. That's a little bit of a surprise. Maybe they've said that it was already in touch at the time that the Drua did touch this ball. We're going to see the replay now. Okay, that did look like the Drua put that ball into touch, but they have got their own line out. Right, they've got a new advantage, and I believe that is a penalty advantage rather than just a knock on. Did it really come off forward for the Fijian Drua player? Says Fiji Islander. Which case are we talking? Inside the 10 offside, that's going against Kalen Boshia. Chiefs all the way from South Africa, says Chris. Nice early morning start for yourself, Chris, I believe. We are going to be covering the Sharks versus Lions URC game, taking place a little bit later on, as well as the 2 games for the Six Nations. So, of course, 2 games that are a lot better for your time zone. Also, doing Hurricanes versus Moana Pacifica. So, plenty more to come. So, it is great to see you here for the streams. It's 11 penalties now against the Chiefs. Waratahs already has as many wins this season as they did all of last year. And good for them and their fans before the Kuravuli scuffle. CSBG Islander. Yeah, it did sound like there was a little bit of confusion from the referee in terms of what had actually happened. Like it was a bit of a tentative whistle blow. Now Tavita Ikanaveri. Nicely taken by Meridiria Langi. Did score the last try of the match for the Fijian Drua, and that is actually their only try that they've been able to score at this point. I'm pretty sure the Blues deliberately chucked the game away to get the new coach. Team like that, if they don't like the coach, says Spider Mick. Well, I don't know if you're supposed to say that, because then, of course, you're actually accusing them of match fixing, which is a lot more than just losing their coach. They'd lose their whole franchise if they were pulled up for that. But they're going back for another penalty, obstructing a lifter. Fijian Drua, they just slowly marching their way up the field here. Okay, wide on the ground collapsing. We haven't actually gotten a number there of who it was. I assume it would have maybe been Vai, because normally he's involved in those rolling mauls. But 12 penalties now against the Chiefs. So Armstrong Ravula ready to kick this one into touch. Last 5 penalties, 4 of which have been up against the Chiefs, and they have all taken place in the second half. Just talking about the new rules in terms of how quickly the game can be sped up with them. And why would you throw a game? How do you benefit from it? Yeah, it's one of those ones that if any of the players even remotely joked about it, then there'd probably be a big investigation and people would be getting sacked. But yeah, it wouldn't just be the coach, it would be the players as well if anyone said that they were involved. Now Kuravuli going back across to the left-hand side. Here comes a big run forward. Now the Fijians 5 metres out from the line. Tavita Ikanaveri. Tackled well by Tupovai. Kuravuli. On up to the left-hand side. Still have the advantage. Go Fijian Drua, says Nathan. Now wide cut out pass. Ball on the inside. Chance for the Drua, and they will score. And Karawa Levu, the fullback for the Drua, scores it, and they will take the lead back now in this match, ladies and gentlemen. Waratahs play the Force next. Should be a great game, says Judah. Although before that one, we have also got Hurricanes versus Moana Pacifica, which we are going to be covering on the channel too. It will be Savia versus his old side. So definitely a big talking point from that game. Asama Penny does a shoulder charge, says Hanoi. It's not a new one for Finau. It was very drawn out sentence, but yeah, he's been done for shoulder charging before. And that tackle, it didn't look awful, but maybe it was one prior to that you are talking about. And a mean try, says Matthew. 8 points already for Isaiah Armstrong Ravula in this game, looking to add the extra 2. Could be crucial, and it stayed away to the right-hand side, which now means the score sits still 18 points to 17. It is in favour of the Fijian Drua. Are you covering both games or just the Canes one? The plan is to just do the Canes one, because we have got a 1 a.m. stream, a 3:30 a.m. stream, and a 5:15 or so a.m. stream. So we've still got another, after that Hurricanes Moana Pacifica, we've still got another maybe 6 or 7 hours of streaming throughout the night. So I might try and get half a little sleep in between, just so that I'm not too tired for those later games. The good news is I've been relatively organised this week. So I've already got all the thumbnails and everything all made. So all I have to do pretty much is schedule it after this live stream comes to a close. And then, of course, doing that Canes versus Moana Pacifica. Nicely claimed there from Naitoa Arcoin near the halfway line. We're into the last quarter of this contest. Well worked try. Still too early to be celebrating. Exactly right. Only 1 point difference between these two sides. Beautiful cover, guys, says Alocina. The crowd like that one very much. It's kicked out on the full from the Chiefs. Which now means another chance for the drawer. A try converted would be absolutely massive. Fiji have won their last 6 consecutive Super Rugby Pacific games at Churchill Park, including all 5 of their games at this venue in 2024, but they have just lost the line out. Downfield from Leroy Carter. Just looking to go right up the middle of the park, and that is a perfectly weighted kick. Big boot from Karawalevu. Gets it into touch. Go the Chiefs. Ser Seraphim. 40 metres out from the line. Samasoni Tolkiaho. In fact, no, sorry, Bradley Slater at this point. It's out there on the field. The second half has certainly been a better one for the Fijian Drua. Now Slater goes into Jimmy Tupou. Kotesa Ratama passes across to Quinn Tupaya. I think it was Jimmy Tupou who had that injury a little bit earlier on, but seems like he is, I think, all right now. I'm just looking around. Maybe he has been taken off the field, in fact. And that's going to be a penalty now to the Fijian Drua. Oh. Two-handed push there from Kuravuli. And then Cortez Ratama kicks that ball away, just rubbing it a little bit. It seems like Kuravuli really wants to start a fight with these Chiefs players. He tried it with Leroy Carter. Tried it with Cortez Ratama when he shoved him in the back when he wasn't looking. Classic halfback tactics. I don't know whether or not he's trying to get a bigger reaction out of the Chiefs, because what he might be doing is just firing them up for the later stages. Draw seem to be missing some stars, says Hanoi. A little bit. It's more so the fact that just every season that they have that's good, about 3 or 4 of their players get stolen by overseas clubs. You know, the first year, I mean, Vinaya Bossi, his first season was absolutely insane for what he was able to do. And then since then, we have still seen multiple Fijian Drua players head overseas. That ball is loose, but well cleaned up by the Chiefs. Trying to hold him up. And a little bit of a counter ruck coming here from the Fijian Drua. Do they get possession? Not quite. Damon Murphy almost went to his whistle. Let's go the Fijian Drua, says Nathan 679. And they're going back for the original knock on. I believe that is against the Fijian Drua. Currently 1 point difference between these two sides. A lot closer than some probably anticipated for these two sides playing off. But like they've just shown, at this ground in particular, they have got a very impressive record here, the Fijian Drua. But it all comes down to that last 5 or 10 minutes. And that is normally when we see the Fijian Drua either really step it up and go on to win games, or that is when they do struggle. 9 handling errors at the moment for the Fijian Drua compared to the 7 of the Chiefs. So 16 in total across the two sides. But now, Xavier Rowe about to feed the ball in. Do you think the Drua should have stayed in the Napier Hotel like the Canes did and not left when asked? Says, and it's one of those ones, it's a really unfortunate situation that happened to the Fijian Drua. And the more you read about it, the more you realise how much they got pretty much screwed over while visiting New Zealand. But yeah, it's one of those ones. Hopefully they have some sort of thing to fix it. That's a beautiful bit of work there from the big man. Look at him, Mussy grubbers at forward. What a great individual try. He chipped it in behind. He grubbed it at forward. He scores it over the try line. And now the Drua, once again, this is going to be an 8-point lead, ladies and gentlemen. The Chiefs have been caught napping. And what a try from Ponepate Luganamasi. Josh Jacob went for the chip in behind, and it was the perfect receive for Luganamasi, trying to catch him, but no chance to get there. And great finish. Toso Drua, Toso, says Die. And let's go, baby, says Fiji Islander. And go the Drua, go, says Marcus. But yeah, Logan Amasi, just the way that he's been able to control that ball. And it's popped back up. And Armstrong Ravula gets it over. Right, the Chiefs are under a newfound pressure, ladies and gentlemen. They are 3 from 3 in terms of victories. And now they find themselves up against a FIJIAN DRUA side in the wet who look like they're coming right as this match does progress. Go the Drua, says Marcus. A nice one, Drua, says Nathan in there too. But the crowd, they're believing they're going to see 7 in a row at this ground. If they do, I don't understand why Fiji would want to play anywhere else for the Drua other than this Churchill Park ground. 13 minutes remaining. Tie from Simeone Kuravuli back to earth though, says Fiji Islander. Nice take at the back from Sean Stevenson. Tackle made on him, knock on from Leroy Carter. Flicked out the back. The Drua once again have the ball. Armstrong Ravula looking for the 50-22. There is an acre of space. And Punipati Logan Amasi gets back. He's going to make the tackle on Josh Jacob. Both men scrambling to try and get that ball, but the Chiefs fly half doing just enough to keep that ball in the side of the Chiefs. Go the FIJIAN DRUA, go, says Sam. Yeah, the Chiefs have to be very careful not to concede again now, or else they will be in trouble. That's charged down. Ball goes into touch. It will be a Chiefs line out, but only 5 meters from their own line. Well cut off by the Drua again. And it just seems like they've found their next gear. I don't know where this gear has come from. That sounds like something you would tell a police officer, but it's just next level at the moment for the Drua in just this little period of time. They seem to want it more. And knocked on. First by the FIJIAN DRUA, then by the Chiefs. That was almost a chance over the back of the line out. Rain is the great leveler. Anyone can win when it rains, says Dawn of the Dead. In fact, no, sorry. Knock on from the Chiefs, then the Drua. So it will be a scrum now for the FIJIAN DRUA, only 10 meters out from their line. That was Rappling Alec. Couldn't hang on to a Chiefs handling errors piling up, says Bill. This is massive. Perfect position on the field for the FIJIAN DRUA now. I was just having a quick look to see whether or not they would have the odds there, but this is a massive one for them. The Drua, like I said. 9 handling errors, 8 from the Chiefs. Both sides will be a bit disappointed with that number, but see Aaron Cruden watching on for this game. Yeah, a little bit nervous the way that it does currently sit. 25 points to 17. My heart's going to fail on me, says Fiji Islander. Yeah, if they score now without jinxing anything, with only about 10 minutes to go after that, if they were to score the try, I would say that they almost win this game. But that is a very optimistic statement, and one that could be extremely wrong. Now, ball about to be fed in by Simeone Kuravoli. Scrum has gone down, and Damon Murphy says we'll have another one. Looked like for a second he was going to award the Chiefs the penalty for that one. There'll be a lot of pressure on this replacement front row for the FIJIAN DRUA. Tanieri, Davida Ikanaveri, Penny Ravai, the 3 men who have to hold strong enough in this case. As an Aussie ref, he is indeed Aussie Damon Murphy. Now, another scrum. They've moved them to the side a little bit just to try and have some sort of footing. And go to the Drua, says Samuel. Now 10 minutes left. Again, Simeone Kuravoli will put the ball in. They've got about 4 set up on the right-hand side here for the Drua, so I believe that will be the direction that they look to go. And off the back here for Ilya Thanakaivata. 5 meters out from the line. Kalen Boschia wanted the turnover, couldn't quite reach over enough. Davida Hikanaveri hit hard by Naitoa Akoi. Now Kuravoli pops it up. Oh, Tanieri thought he was going to get it, but he is once again a meter short. Thanakaivata still short. Naito Akoi can't get the turnover. This looks like they are hoping to find one of those big forwards. Great tackle on Penny Ravai. Driven backwards a couple extra meters, but now the Drua. Little bit of hesitation from Armstrong. Ravula, and he's knocked the ball on. And that will now give the Chiefs the scrum. They are still not out of the danger zone, though. Centimetres away from scoring. That post looks in danger of falling, says Hanoi at 16 off 21. Says PSG. And Burrow says PSG. 9 minutes left now. The Chiefs, at this point, it's survival, which is something we probably didn't expect to see for the Chiefs in this contest, but just really good rush defense. And I think it was Bradley Slater got the arm round and slapped it out of their hands. Did you get a 6 today? I did not. I got 3 4s though, so like that's all right. I just don't have 6 hitting power, sadly. But now, scrum feed for the Chiefs. Now off the back, chance here for the youngster, Rampling Alec. Looked like he was having a bit of a slip and slide while he was trying to make meters. Xavier Rowe, back into the pocket to Josh Jacob. Without Damien McKenzie, there is a lot of pressure on these younger guys. The Drua lose in the last 10 again, says PSG. The thing is, it's still a possibility. The Drua to really feel comfortable in this match would need another try now. Or at least in the next few minutes. And I would say if they were able to do that, they would win this game. But if the Chiefs are the next side to score, even if it's 3, all the pressure's back on the Drua. We got this Drua, says Dai. Going to be thrown in by Tavita Ikanaveri. Oh, that's a drop ball. It's gone backwards, says the ref. And now Nasila Silla, Fijian Drua, 15 metres out from the Chiefs line. Bradley Slater charging forward to make another tackle. Quintapia's had a quiet night, ain't he? Says Fiji Islander. Yeah, we've hardly mentioned him throughout the second half. We've seen a little bit more of Anton Leonard-Brown on the outside, but yeah, Quintapia definitely not having as much action as he normally would. Ball's still there for the Drua. Be interesting to see what choice the Drua would make if Fiji Drua were able to get themselves an advantage here. Referee says not yet. Tavita Ikanaveri. It looks like the sun's starting to come out for this game as well, unless that is just my eyes deceiving me. Passed out wide to Ilya Whanakaivata. Now back to the left. Ponipati Loganamasi has got his hands up and he is shouting for the ball on the outside. Let's see whether or not they can get it to him. Kuravuli goes back. Armstrong Ravula does throw it out wide. Wasn't the best pass, but Ponipati Loganamasi picks it up well, and it's called as a forward pass. I don't know why he didn't try a cross kick there. I feel like that might have been the more effective way of doing it. But a forward pass from the Drua means now the Chiefs have got themselves a scrum again. He was asking for that ball. Well, it didn't go forward by a mile. Tosa Drua says Losana. And Hekia Tosa Chief says Mark. But yeah, the sun has actually come out for this game. And it just perfectly summarises the type of weather that we can see for these games that are happening in Fiji. One moment it is sunny, one moment it is raining. And at this stage, yeah, looks like it's a nice afternoon. There's probably another whole team of local guys who could be on another Drua side and listening in from Papua New Guinea. Go the Drua, they need to develop strong mental fitness, says Isaiah. And Tosa Drua says Lasana in there too. They are just talking about this Drua side and how much this game could really impact their season as a whole. They would love to get themselves the victory. Right. The referee has told them to hurry up and keep going. The last thing that they want is to get some sort of free kick against them for the time waste. No such thing as a betting lock. Sport 0-3 about to be 3-0. Says Judah. Now, Xavier Rowe to feed this ball in. 5.5 minutes now left on the clock. And Drua should keep playing this end of the field. Exactly right. They've got to play the territory game. We know how dangerous some of these Chiefs backs can be. That's a big mistake from Sean Stevenson, just throwing the ball into touch. And the Drua will have themselves another line out. Now, the big thing here as well is the way that this game is currently sitting. the Drua would stop the Chiefs from getting a bonus point. And we know how important bonus points can be as the season does progress. We've seen 13 penalties against the Chiefs in this game, 9 handling errors. Type of numbers we are not used to seeing. Loose ball picked up by the Drua. Now Isaiah Armstrong Ravula goes across to Thanakaivata. Koravuli looking off to the left-hand side. Nasila Silla. Now back. Koravuli going to use it to the short side. There'll be no hurry here for the Drua either. They can just look to pass this ball around and keep the position. Going back to the left-hand side. I step from Vofe. 22 metres still from the line with 4 minutes left on the clock. That's the big one to talk about at the moment. It doesn't matter how far they are from the try line, but more so how much time left until they can secure this victory. Anato Akoi, that was a big shot coming in on him while trying to make the tackle. Ikanaveri, another tackle made. The big forwards just getting straight back up to their feet, trying to help their side. Matakai Murray coming off getting smashed, straight back up to his feet and has another run. Love your commentating skills, says Christian Hill. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated you all being here. We're about to see one of the biggest upsets of this season. Although, actually, probably the second biggest, I would say, so far from the first 4 rounds. Chance here for the Chiefs. They've given away the penalty. Right. Chance here for the Drua. Oh, Xavier Rowe snapping a little bit there. Koravuli's going to grab him right. The Drua have to be very careful not to accidentally give away a penalty now. Xavier Rowe. Okay, Xavier Rowe thought that it was his ball, so he was starting fights with everyone trying to get it, but it was actually a Drua penalty. Come on, the Drua need to score again. All these Fijians could easily get NRL contracts. Says Hanoi. Well, a few of them will probably get overseas top 14 contracts. Okay. Damon Murphy saying you can't have players running in. I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication, though. Okay. 3 minutes remaining. How many minutes is left? 3 minutes. At the moment, an 8 points difference between these two sides. The crowd are getting loud. What are the Drua going to do here? Do they kick for the corner? Or do they take the 3? It looks like the 3 is the option. Great commentary, by the way, bro. Says Fiji Islander. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Now, 8 points. This will become 10 if Armstrong Ravola can slot this one. And there would only be about 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Yeah, the top 14 too, says Annoying. Come on the Draw, win your first, says Jack. And it's not just going to be a win. It's going to be a win up against the top of the table, the undefeated Chiefs, heading into this match. And they will make it a 7-match winning streak at Churchill Park. The sun is shining. So anyone tuning in just now wouldn't even know that there had been a downpour earlier on. They've made a whole heap of handling errors for these sides. So his kicking, it was Armstrong Ravola. He's got it over. And that is now going to make the score 28 points to 17. Heading into this match, I don't think anyone was predicting the draw by 11. In fact, not many people were giving the draw even a win by 1. Nicely taken by Ravatamanda. 2 minutes left on the clock. If the Chiefs were to score now, they would receive the bonus point for being within 7. Keep that in mind. But the next game we are covering, it is Hurricanes versus Moana Pacifica. That is going to be in about 45 minutes' time. It's nice to not have to hear the cowbells. Here's Bill and Carlos with the surprised face too. 100 seconds remaining. All the New Zealand teams rest players when it comes to FIJIAN DRUA and lose. Time to rest players or try to rest players. That's the thing. Like, this is still a very strong Chiefs side. Like, with the exception of Damian McKenzie, which I think is maybe why people think they're resting guys. But honestly, like, he's injured. He's not available for this match. So, well, he wasn't supposed to be playing anyway, so they decided to not give him the chance. But this lineup overall is not far from the strongest Chiefs lineup, with the exception maybe of a couple in that loose forward trio. But FIJIAN DRUA have just outplayed them. They've held on to the ball better. They've given away less penalties. As they drop that ball. And then almost end up with an accidental offside against them. But the Chiefs are now in possession. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Xavier Rowe goes across to Profit. Now Leonard Brown. They want to finish. Oh, another drop ball. Kick downfield from the Drua. Advantage was over, so Jacob has to swarm onto it. And for the turnover for the Fijian Drua, they will not be able to get it. And what a second half, exactly right. We saw 5 points for the Chiefs to the 22 of the Fijian Drua. We could claim being the Fijian Drua's lucky charm. We didn't cover the first half, of course, when they only scored the 6, but we certainly covered the second, where they scored the rest of their points. Should go on to get them the victory here. But 18 seconds remaining. Is there one last one in there for this Chiefs side? They have the knock-on advantage at the moment. Samapini now close to the touchline, breaks through 2. Now Xavier Rowe to the short side, off to Daniel Rona. Ball inside to Leroy Carter, showing off his pace. Big shot on him by Tavita Ikanaviri. The Drua once again looking for that turnover. That's going to be a penalty against them. And they will go back now. Right. The Chiefs have to score here. 28 points to 17. That is correct, sorry. Rather than 25 points to 17. Right. They're actually checking this one, I believe. Were they? Maybe. Game Bro says Fiji Islander, an off day for the Chiefs. Says Dawn of the Dead. And GG says, yeah, and draw win regardless. Exactly right. So they will still go for the corner here, the Chiefs, just to try and get something back in this contest, get a bonus point out of it. But it would be pretty massive for the Drua if they can keep them scoreless or pointless in this match in terms of their overall table. And good game, the Drua. This will shut Optimus 12 up, says Matthew. Fiji will soften up the Wallabies for the Lions, says Hanoi. And man, what a nice betting week it would have been. Yeah, I mean, the Brumbies winning, the Fijian Drua winning, 2 underdogs so far. We've only had 2 games. That means Moana Pacifica up against the Hurricanes in with a shot. Not sure who the biggest underdog was of the weekend, but I would say it was probably one of the 2 who have already won. Chiefs fan here says Wizard 12. I think and I'm thinking the Moana. And Muthi Chiefs says Losana. It's going to be nicely taken now for the Chiefs, looking for the rolling maul. And that's a new advantage now against the Fijian Drua. That ball's on the ground, so they will go back for another penalty. I think that this is going to be the way that it is, and the Chiefs will try and get that last one at 1. Goodbye, Chiefs, says Nathan. Well done, the Drua. Good luck, Moana, says Debater of Everything. Of course, we are going to be doing that one on the channel, ladies and gents. Anyone who is new, sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are also going to be covering 3 games later on throughout the night. URC match between the Sharks and the Lions, that is first. Then from there, we are doing the Six Nations game between Ireland and France, which is an absolutely massive one. And then Wales versus Scotland to close out the day of rugby. Samapini Finau. Tackle 5 metres out from the line as the Chiefs did opt to go for the quick tap. Anton Leonard-Brown. Couple metres out now. Bradley Slater. Will they score or will they drop the ball? Those are your 2 options at the moment. Looking to go around the side. The Drua. Oh, that's a massive carry. And that will be the try for the Chiefs. It will be a bonus point. But it will not be enough to get the victory. And that point, be sure to keep an eye on it, because that could be the difference later on in the comp. This game's looking like it's going to be ending about 28 points to 24. Which is, once again, a massive win for this Fijian Drua side. I am glad that we came home early enough that we were able to cover the second half of this contest. I do apologise that we weren't able to do the first, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this live stream nonetheless. We have got another one just around the corner, like I said, for the Canes versus Moana Pacifica, which are going to start in around 35 or so minutes time. Thanks for your commentary, bro. Good thanks from Fiji, says Nathan. And now lining up this kick, Josh Jacob. The crowd are loud and proud at the moment, getting behind their home side. And Jacob does get it over, so they will make the end score, like I said, 28 points to 24. That means Scotland are going to win against, Wales are going to win against Scotland, says Matthew. And does that mean, who's the underdog? France and Ireland. I assume France, since they're not at home. But going to be a very exciting game. And nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in about 35 minutes time for the Canes versus Moana Pacifica. But thank you all very much. I will see you next time.